welcome to Community Health Talk on CBC TV. Today, I'm your host, Chansa Maimbo. We are discussing a crucial topic, which is health habits that promote well-being from people living with HIV and AIDS. Joining me today in the studio is Dr. Yesu Umbalo from the Sub-Saharan Farmers Organization. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Chancellor.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. So, Doctor, can you share some insights on why health habits are essential for people living with HIV and AIDS?
Thank you, Chancellor, for the question. Right from the start, I would like to first establish the foundation upon which I'll be giving this answer.
Okay.
I am a doctor of naturopathic medicine, and this is a medicine that is whose philosophy is based on some key principles. We honor the healing power of nature. That's the first principle.
Yeah.
The second principle is we say first do no harm.
Okay.
The third principle is we say find the root cause of the problem. And the fourth principle is treat the whole body.
Okay.
The fifth principle is the doctor is a teacher. And the sixth principle is prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
And the seventh is to maintain optimal health.
Okay.
Now, coming to your question, a person living with HIV and a person who has just acquired HIV, they all have to be responsible to begin with. And they all have to be responsible in what way? They have to protect themselves first, and they have to think about protecting others. That's how responsible they have to be. And all their health habits, they have to be in the direction of maintaining a good health, in having an immune system that is optimal for them to be able to fight the virus. That's that. And they have to have a mental health that is really at peace, because otherwise they will not be compliant to taking medication, and they will not have the health that they need.
Okay, those are really great points. So for a person who has been living with HIV and AIDS for a very long time and one recently diagnosed, do these habits differ or not?
The habits, they do not differ.
Okay.
The habits, they do not differ because they are all infected. Since they are all infected, their immune system have been compromised. And once the immune system has been compromised, that puts at risk of contracting any other medical condition they might be. So it's very important that they understand that once they have been infected or affected, they should really be careful as to how they live. Really.
Okay, let's talk about nutrition. What dietary recommendations would you give to people living with HIV and AIDS?
When we talk about nutrition, I would like to point out here that food is one of the strongest medicine God has ever given into creation. And especially for our persons living with HIV, food is not just for energy. Food is also for healing, for immunity, and stability. So it means that the person living with HIV, they must now be eating with purpose. So they should aim to rebuild strength, and they should aim to protect their immunity. Remember, it's the immune system that is compromised, so they really need to be eating responsibly.
Yes. Okay, so these are some people. There are some people who are living with HIV and they drink excessively. Is beer harmful to them?
Beer, it is harmful. It is harmful in what way? Beer is for the person living with HIV. Beer is an immunosuppressant.
Okay.
Immunity has already been compromised. So taking beer will not help at all. it's like adding fuel to the fire. Now, this is what beer does. When we speak of beer in a HIV person, it works on the liver.
Okay.
A liver is a major organ in the body. It's there to detoxify the body of all toxicity that's not needed any longer in the body. Now, when you take beer, you are burdening the liver. And when you burden the liver, it does not have the capacity, it's not performing to its optimum anymore to detoxify the body of all the bad stuff. And also, what beer does in a healthy person, beer the liver what beer does in a healthy person, they may numb themselves. Even in a HIV person, they may numb themselves, but liver, it has the capacity to put in activation, to activate every medication that you are taking. So when now you take beer, you are indeed reducing that capacity of the liver to make available for you the medication that you need.
Okay, so it's like you're taking the medicine in vain.
You are taking the medicine in vain. And also beer does what? It dehydrates the person. Someone who's drinking, they have a tendency to go to urinate a lot. So you are losing the water that you need. Remember, a person is 70 to 80% water. Now, when you urinate a lot, you don't drink, you are dehydrated. That's beer. And so it's not really advisable for someone living with HIV to be consuming excessive alcohol, and not to even be consuming it, because it's not healthy for them.
Okay. So what about physical activity? How important is exercise for people living with AIDS?
Physical activity is important for everybody, and it's more so for people living with HIV, because they need to keep circulation. The body, the blood needs to be moving in the body, and they need to keep their flexibility. They need to have plenty of oxygen in the body, and exercise will help them to do that, because immune system is dependent on the body moving all around. When the body is stagnant, it's staying too much in one area. It's not picking up what needs to be taken out. Take it to the liver, take it to the kidneys, to where it's taken out of the body. So blood needs to be moving, and blood to move, you need to be in motion. That's why exercise is so important to people living with HIV.
Okay, so are there any specific exercises that are harmful for a person living with HIV?
Yes, and right off the bat, strenuous exercises are harmful, and someone who is having an active infection should not be exercising at all. Someone who's running a fever should not be exercising. And what do I mean by strenuous exercise? Heavy weightlifting. It will not be a good moment for a person living with HIV to go out and start doing bodybuilding, weightlifting activities, or running long distance marathons, especially in the sun when there's they are not well hydrated. Those are to be avoided.
Okay. So stress management is also crucial. What advice would you give to our viewers on managing stress and maintaining mental health?
People living with HIV, they do have a lot of fear, a lot of stress, and many of them do undergo depression. And when we think of mental health, we think of the constant stress, the constant demand they're under, and cortisol is a hormone we all release when we are under stress. Now, when it's constantly circulating in the blood, it's not healthy. At that point, it becomes destructive, not constructive. But a person who is living with HIV, what they need is to reconstruct the body. Now, as cortisol is running, it's destroying now even the little bit that there is. Now, when that's happening, even compliance to taking medication is becoming difficult for the person living with HIV positive. So they need to be able to manage their stress. They really just need.
Okay. So for now, it's time to take your calls and messages. So you can call in on the numbers showing on the screen, and you can send us messages so that we would be able to talk about them on the show. So what's your question or concern about health habits for people living with HIV and AIDS? Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned. Our topic of discussion today has been health habits that promote well-being for people living with HIV and AIDS. And we have tackled the habits, the nutrition, and the exercises. But just to recap a little bit on the nutrition and the exercise, would like to dive deeper to understand better what it is a person living with HIV should eat and what type of exercises are advisable. Doctor, you can take it up from there.
Thank you. We're back as we've been talking about the health habits that persons living with HIV should adopt. Now, as far as exercise are concerned, we discussed about exercise that should not be done. Now, what they can do is lightweight exercises.
Okay.
What we mean by that, there's walking. Walking is a very good exercise. And when you start walking, you don't need to do long distance, and it doesn't have to be many hours. 20 minutes per day is sufficient. And really strive to do it early in the morning, because that's where the air is very fresh. It is very fresh. And that's walking. And as you are walking, do it in a way that you do not feel yourself start running out of breath to where you can tire yourself. Remember, the key is not to drain yourself of energy, because your body needs energy. And from walking, we have light jogging. For those who have built up, they can do light jogging. And that as compared to long distance marathon. Light jogging, you can do again 20 minutes. It is it's less demanding on the body. And what we are looking for is to restore and maintain blood circulation, flexibility, and another exercise that you can do. There's also yoga. You can do yoga, and yoga can be done even at home, or you can find places where yoga is practiced. You can join, and other exercises within our area where you can find swimming lessons. You can take swimming also, that can be practiced. Those are exercises that you can do, as long as they do not drain you of your energy. You are good to do those. And now we need to talk about also nutrition. Remember, I say that food is one of the strongest medicine God has ever created. And for a person living with HIV, they need to eat so that they can rebuild strength and protect their immunity.
Yes.
And food that they need to be concentrating on. Every food needs to be fresh. Refrain from refined processed food. What do we mean by refined? Sugar. Sugar is everywhere. Everywhere there's sugar. In bread there's sugar. You make your tea, you put sugar. You buy candy, there's sugar. You go to a party, there's a cake, there's sugar. Everything there's sugar. We need to be watching that, because sugar is also an immunosuppressant, meaning it decreases the ability of your body to fight off infections. Remember, in a person living with HIV, the immune system is already compromised, so we don't need to put more assault on that. So refrain from simple carbohydrate.
Okay.
Simple carbohydrate again is bread,
Okay.
cake, cupcakes. I know I'm taking all the fun out of what you need to eat, but those are the things that are really, really getting you down. Simple carbohydrate. And we also need to refrain from fat.
Okay.
And by fat we see it in also many, many, many things. The milk we buy, there's fat. You can look for skim, low-fat milk. People who enjoy eating beef, I'm sorry I have to say this, beef, there's plenty of fat in the beef. And butter, look for low-fat butter. And deep fried food. I won't mention any franchises here, but deep fried food, you understand what I'm talking about. The chicken that is fried in plenty of oil, the fries that are fried in plenty of oil, everything that is put in oil and fried in there and you eat, that is not commendable.
Okay. So if someone's out there and they've understood the foods that you have talked about refraining from, let's say in the morning someone would want to have breakfast. Let's just put together like a healthy meal that someone with HIV can have from breakfast, lunch to supper. So like today, someone wants to have breakfast. What would you recommend?
Someone like to have breakfast. What we would recommend is you need your protein.
Okay.
Your best source of protein would be eggs, fish, and chicken.
Okay.
Those would be your best source of protein. Now, when you have your protein, you also need your vegetables. Remember, the best source of the best vegetable out there, and also is rich in protein, would be your beans.
Okay.
You need to have your beans on the side. Don't forget your tomatoes. Don't forget your onion. If you don't like onion, there's substitute. Your green peppers. You can make a salad, a green salad. Even in the morning, you can have that.
Yes.
You can have that. Remember to have your nuts, ground nuts. You can have those there.
Okay.
And as far as drinks, tea is not is not the only drink that's out there that you can drink
for breakfast.
You don't have to have tea.
Yes.
You can have fresh squeezed juice. I understand for now. This is fruits are in almost like in season.
Yes.
You can have your fresh pressed juice. Could be orange, could be apple, even pineapple. Now, remember, when you are fresh squeezing your juice, there is what's remaining. What's remaining is also important. That's the fiber that you need. Okay. You also need to have that fiber.
So if someone decides to blend instead, would that be preferable?
That would be preferable.
Okay.
Because there you are taking everything. You don't take anything out.
Okay.
Because you need that fiber. And also, start your water in the morning, your water intake. Make it a point to consume, according to your size, at the minimum 2 liters to 2.5. That would be enough for anybody.
So for some flavor, I've heard of people talk about cucumber water, lemon water. Would that also be advisable?
It would be advisable, especially lemon water, if you don't have a stomach problem, because for some people, lemon water can upset the stomach and put them on the course of gastritis,
Okay.
things like that. So you can find something milder, like you said, cucumber water.
Okay.
You can do that, or even mint water.
Mm.
You just take a few leaves of mint, you put in your water.
Mm.
It adds some flavor to it instead of just drinking straight up water. I've heard that many people actually, they just get fed up with plain water because
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
plain.
Mhm.
They want it to be a bit exciting.
Okay, so if we're now talking about lunch and supper, what would be interchangeable for these meals?
For lunch, I know Shima is up there.
Yes,
Shima is
it's
up
the
there.
staple food.
It's a staple food, although it's a simple carbohydrate.
Mm,
So you need to balance that with plenty of greens.
mm,
Put in plenty of greens. Don't forget fish
mm,
should be there because you need your protein
Mm.
as a person living with HIV. Why do I say protein? Because your muscles are wasting away, and protein is what makes the meat.
okay, so if we're, like, for example, I don't know if you've been to the restaurant Matebeto.
Yes, I have.
So you see how they put so many vegetables. There'll be okra, there'll be impwa, there'll be maybe beans. So there'll be like 3, 4 different types of vegetables with maybe some roasted fish and
Yes.
shima.
Yes.
Would that be advisable?
That would be advisable. The greens are so important. Why? There's so many minerals and vitamins in them,
Okay.
and your body needs those to build up the immune system, so you can fight off you can maintain the virus down, along with the medication that you might be taking.
All right. So, looking at the topic of people living with HIV and AIDS, there's a lot of discrimination that comes with it. There's a lot of misunderstanding that comes with it. What would you say to the viewers out there, especially the ones who are living with HIV, who are discriminated, and the ones who discriminate?
Okay, that's a very important question, Chance. It's a concern that we all have, and I think we tend to forget that we are all creature,
Mhm.
and we're all creature, and we are all sufferer. Um, None of us wanted to get that condition. It's not like we went out looking for it. If it were somewhere on the table and they say this is HIV, can you take it and put it in you? No one would want to do that. So keeping that in mind, we need to understand that no one should be looked down upon. No, we should not be discriminating, because the one who's living with HIV could be your brother, could be your sister, could be your father, could be your mother, could be your friend. And so this is what I can advise, because for someone who's already infected,
Mm.
they have so much that they are going under.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's fear,
Mm.
there's stress, and there's depression. And for your information, many people don't actually die of the disease.
Mm.
They choose to go out. They give up before the fight.
Mm.
And that's depression.
Yes.
And the depression, it's because we push them in a corner where they are now isolated from everybody else. They don't want to be anywhere because they are looked up. They are looked down upon.
Yes.
So what we need to practice is what? Compassion. Let's embrace them.
Mm.
We show them mercy. We show them grace, because that is not their choice.
Mm.
That is not their choice.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Umbalo, for sharing your expertise with us today. To you, our dear viewers, please remember that adopting healthy habits can significantly improve the quality of life for people living with HIV. And as you have heard, please do not discriminate people living with HIV. They are people just like us. Are there any other closing remarks concerning the entire topic that we've been talking about today?
In closing, I would like to say that people living with HIV, they can live with purpose. Their life does not end with HIV. There are so many successful stories out there of people who continued on. They fought and they are still fighting. And remember, the last principle of naturopathic medicine is about optimal health. And if I can quote one passage or paraphrase what Jesus said, he said he'd come so that we can live and have it in abundance. And those who have HIV, when they have attained that place of optimal health, they can enjoy life to the fullest. So that's what I can say.
Okay. As you have heard it from Dr. Yesu Ombalo, living a life with HIV and AIDS is not the end of the road. You can still live a full life. You can still get married. You can still have children. You can still follow the dreams that you set out to have in the beginning of your life. That's all for today's program. Join us next week for more health insights and discussions. Until then, stay healthy, stay informed.